Great to have you with us today.
Good to be back here, Craig.
Genius Group is disrupting the current education model. Roger, for viewers new to the story, tell us how your student-centered lifelong learning curriculum is redefining education in the 21st century.
Well, first of all, I think everyone can see that there is huge changes happening in technology right now. And so with AI and the revolution taking place, there are more and more questions as to what jobs are going to be there for the future, but also what opportunities are there as well. So what we do at Genius Group is create an entire lifelong learning curriculum to teach the best entrepreneurial investing skills for students of all ages so that they are able to create whatever jobs are going to be the right jobs for them in the future based on their personal path.
Roger, how big do you estimate that market opportunity being?
So the market opportunity, according to Holland IQ, which is one of the leading education research companies, is $10 trillion in size. That's taking the entire education pie. And I think what a lot of companies do is they'll look at a particular part of that pie. So for example, about 50% of that is the K-12 market, which is primary and high school. There's about a quarter of it, which is the university side. And then there is another quarter, which is a mix of everything from pre-K through to corporate training, through to lifelong learning. In our case, we stretch all the way from 0 to 100 years old. And so we see that entire $10 trillion pie as being something that we're really focused at.
Talk to us about your growth strategy, Roger. How are you scaling the organization globally?
So the two biggest things that we've been doing since we had our IPO just over a year ago is that we have been focusing, number one, on organic growth. So we have our Edtech platform, Genius U, where we now have over 4 million students, and we have got many new students, in fact, several thousand joining every single day. And they are then coming into the different courses, programs we have. And that's creating this organic growth that historically has been 50% year on year. And we intend to continue to grow at a significant pace. However, there's a second part to this as well, which is while there's other edtech companies out there that are creating platforms but don't own their own government-approved, government-funded curriculum, in our case, we actually own our own university, and we're also acquiring at different institutional levels, different certifications that are also government funded, that are also government supported, plus corporate certifications as well. And so that really makes a huge difference in terms of how our growth strategy differs from some of the others, is as much about the acquisition side as it is about the organic side.
What differentiates Genius Group from other education companies like Coursera and Udemy?
So I think there's three big differentiators, which actually helps us a lot with what's happening with AI right now. The first one is most people who come and join Genius U don't start by learning something about a subject. They actually start by learning about themselves. So we have got a whole series of assessments, starting with the Genius test, which is what's your talents, but then moving on to things like the passion test, the purpose test, which is linked to United Nations Global Goals. So once a student at any level finds out what's really meaningful to them, which is, what do I really care about? What am I passionate about? What do I actually want my life to be about in terms of the contribution I make? Once they know that, they can then be directed very specifically in different ways. We just launched our Genie AI, which is linked to GPT-4. And that actually starts by knowing exactly who you are. So someone like you, Craig, could find out, hey, based on just who I am, my interests, what level of my career I'm at, what is it that Genie would then offer for me? Genie would then share with you. So that comes to the second part. If number one is the whole assessment-focused area of our platform, the second part is the personalized learning, where Genie then supports you on your journey, and you get to then connect with other students as well. And that's the third part, which is that we're not all about learning through academic learning, which is when you need to know in order to do. We're actually focusing at entrepreneurial learning, which is needing to do in order to know. 5 steps, CLEAR, which is who are you going to connect with, what are you going to learn, how are you going to earn, how are you going to get an ROI on your education, and then what are the things you're going to do to act, and then how do you go about reviewing. Like this 5-step process is the same process that all of the most inventive companies in the world use to be tracking their employees so that you can be testing and measuring, trialing what works, and then continuing to double down on the things that work best for you as well. I think that's a super exciting part of what we're doing, is this a whole methodology of learning, which allows those who go through it to become far more connected to others that are having things in common with you as well. That's not just students, it's also mentors. We have over 12,000 mentors on our platform helping students every day.
Roger, management, of course, is the key to the success of smaller cap companies. Who are some of the key players on your team?
So we have been very lucky to attract an incredible group that have come and joined us on our journey here. We have Erisima, who is our CFO, who has had plenty of experience building billion-dollar businesses in the past. We have Rav Kawal, who is our CRO, he's been doing an incredible job in actually being able to evolve our growth strategies across all the different companies that we have in the group. We have 8 companies in the group now. We also have got general managers in each of the different companies that we have on our group and on our platform as well. And somebody that those who are investors are sure to meet on our regular investor meetings is Flora Hewitt. She is our head of investor relations and also our M&A strategy as well. I could go on because we have over 500 in our team as well as all our partners, but that's just giving you a bit of a taste on the type of talent that we are attracting to ourselves right now.
Roger, give us the essential value proposition. Why should investors take an interest in Genius Group right now?
I think for many investors, they're seeing in the investment markets, it's a very uncertain time. And so the real question is, how do you go about making your decisions on which are going to be the companies that you are most interested in investing in? I think that there are more and more investors that, number one, are taking a more long-term approach. It's not so simple as it was several years ago to be able to just come in and just see the share price just start rocketing straight away because of where the market is at. And when you're actually going to take a long-term approach, the most important thing is to be thinking, well, am I actually with a company I want to be part of? Is this a purpose-driven company? And we're seeing many examples of purpose-driven companies that are out there not just to be able to do well, but to do good, right? To actually be making an impact in the world. And I really believe there's no bigger impact necessary in the world right now than a shift in our education system from what's been a quite archaic old system, which many people already see isn't what fits them. And I'm not just talking about at university or school level, I'm talking about even corporate training. How do we really make sure that we're all the future that we are building? And secondly, I think that those who come and join us will find that we have a very vibrant investor community. We actually even have an investor campus on GeniusU with our investor summit, our investor retreats, where we're teaching all the very best in ethical investing. How do you go about making sure that your investments are protected and that you're actually doing the right thing with the right people to actually even change the rules of the market to support more and more investors to have a safe investment that can actually make a difference in the world. And then not only do the investors win, but so do all the students, so do all of the partners that we have on our platform as well.
Roger, that sounds extremely attractive. Thank you for sharing your great story with us.
Thanks very much.
Now, to get more information on Genius Group, visit geniusinfo.com. Genius Group is a fast-growing edtech player on a mission to revolutionize the global education system. It's disrupting the current education model with its student-centered, lifelong learning curriculum that prepares students with the leadership, entrepreneurial, and life skills needed to succeed in today's market.